In a time of life that should be full of joy,
That's our younger brother.
this is a time full of sorrow.
They can't even say a word, to be honest. Yeah.
Bemni Mekonnen is friends with the family of 6-year-old Wongel Estifanos, who died on an amusement ride in Glenwood Springs on September 5th.
Well, ever since COVID started, they haven't taken any family vacation. So they thought this Labor Day weekend would be the perfect time to do it.
Now, the family is in mourning, and Mekonnen has become their voice.
Yeah, it was very difficult to see them because you don't know what to say, and your heart bleeds for them.
Mekonnen says Wongel was an outgoing first grader at Stetson Elementary School in Colorado Springs.
She has lots of hobbies. She enjoys swimming, painting, drawing. She loves the movie Frozen. Elsa is her favorite character.
She loved playing with her 2-year-old brother and was very close to her parents.
She has her whole life ahead of her, and this happens, yeah, your world stops.
Mekonnen lost his own wife 9 years ago and says he will try to guide the family through their grief.
You have to share in someone's burden in times like these, otherwise it would be too much.
Too much for a little girl taken too soon.
Yeah, I wish there was a way we could bring her back, honestly. When you see the pain and anguish they're going through, you would do anything.
It is not just schools creating vaccination policies. Now, many businesses are being forced to or risk being fined. Brad Underwood joins us downtown with a look at how companies in the tri-state are responding to the president's mandate. Brad.
Well, good evening, Paul. Yeah, today I reached out to almost 50 companies in the tri-state that employ more than 100 people. And for many of them, it is really too early to explain to employees how all of this is going to work because, as we know, it is not a rule yet. However, some companies are letting their employees know that this is coming. Cincinnati's own Kroger is one of 3 companies partnering with the Biden administration to sell at-home rapid COVID-19 tests to customers at cost for the next 3 months. The company also strongly supports people getting the vaccine.
Kroger's priority remains the health and safety of our associates and customers. We continue to strongly encourage everyone to protect themselves and each other by wearing a mask and getting the vaccine.
Fifth Third Bank says it too is committed to keeping employees safe and healthy, saying in part, "We continue to update and educate our employees with various vaccine and COVID-19 resources. We also require all non-vaccinated employees wear a facial covering while on Fifth Third property." The company is also offering incentives for those to get the vaccine. The pending mandate would require employers with more than 100 employees, like Fifth Third and Kroger, to ensure their workers get vaccinated or get tested weekly. In response to the mandate, Fifth Third says it will be working to clearly understand the newly announced federal mandates, the expectations, the timing, and how to determine the next steps once the rules are final. Kroger also taking a similar position.
We look forward to reviewing guidance from the Department of Labor and Occupational Safety and Health Administration about President Biden's plan and what that means for employers and employees.
So that is the answer right now from many companies. It is too early to tell. They just don't know how it's going to work for their company. Now, with that being said, a couple of dozen companies I did speak with today said they are in the process of drafting communications to send out to their employees, as we expect this to be happening in just a few weeks. Paula?
Yeah. All right. We're waiting here as well. Thank you, Brad. The clock for private sector workers doesn't start ticking until the Department of Labor actually issues its rule. That's expected in the coming weeks. Now, companies that don't comply will face fines.
Middletown woman is sentenced today for murdering her own son while attempting to abandon him.
As David Winter reports, the prosecutor and the judge appeared unimpressed by the excuses offered by the defendant.
She on multiple occasions with multiple people, she told them that she was overwhelmed.
Brittany Gosney's attorney attempting to explain in court today the inexplicable. What drove her in February to abandon her children in a Preble County park, subsequently crushing her littlest son, 6-year-old James Hutchinson, as he tried to cling to the car as she sped away. Then hog-tying the surviving children and tossing James' lifeless body into the Ohio River.
Anything you'd like to tell me, Ms. Gosney?
No, sir.
James was a beautiful child who was taken away too soon, and our world has changed forever.
The only person speaking today for a little boy who never made it through his first grade year, his school principal.
We find comfort in knowing that while attending our school, he felt safe and was deeply loved. We know that James' life mattered. It mattered to his teachers and his friends at Rosa Parks Elementary. His life mattered to the entire community. He was a friend and he was a bright light. Very seldom did he not have a smile on his face, and that light was extinguished too soon by his own mother.
The court will sentence the defendant to a mandatory term of 15 years to life.
A life sentence, along with 6 years for endangering her other 2 children. Gosney will be eligible for parole in 21 years.
She has a life sentence. She has parole eligibility, but it's a life sentence. And I believe under the circumstances of this case, she ought to do every day of that.
After the sentencing, the prosecutor incredulous at Gosney's lack of contrition.
Did you hear one word from her given the opportunity to say, "I'm sorry, Your Honor, I did this"? Not one peep. She stood mute.
Little James Hutchinson's body has never been found after his mother admitted that she and her boyfriend dumped it in the Ohio River near Lawrenceburg. The river today, a dark reminder of a young life cut way too short. David Winter, Local 12 News.
Gosney's boyfriend will be sentenced next month for helping tie up the children and disposing of James Hutchinson's body in the river.